And so we acknowledge as African people that life is circular. Those who have died are connected to us in a very real and inextricable way, and we are connected to the generations that will come after us. If we build strong institutions, great schools, strong families, then whatever children are born into those communities will come and have a soft landing because of what we decide to do. So everything that you do has an impact. It's a reflection of your past, and it shines a light into the future. So in Ghana, in the Akan language of Twi, they say inside. In Nigeria, in Yoruba, people might say ashe. It's the same as saying so it is. Yes, as we symbolically offer a drink of water to our ancestors, to ourselves, and to the future, understanding that we are a part of the circle of life. You know how you watch The Lion King, they had that whole song. It's a circle of life. Yeah. So, won't you join me in pouring the libations? I'm going to call off the names of some of our communal ancestors, and you say Esa. And it's also an opportunity for you to think about your personal ancestors, maybe your grandparents, great-grandparents, family members, that every time you pour libations, you vow to remember them, to remember what they stood for, remember their love, remember what they would want you to do in making good choices for your mind, good choices for your body.
We say Bethel inside of Mother Africa, inside. Mother Africa, the cultivator of civilization, the birthplace of humanity, music, science, dance, art, culture, language, government, commerce. To Mother Africa, we say inside. To the ancient Africans who built the pyramids, the ancient Africans who had the Malian Empire, the Songhai Empire, the Asante Empire, the Benin Empire, to those great nations of people, we say inside. To our Queen Candaces, Nzinga, Taye, Yahweh, Asantewa, we say inside. We say inside to our freedom fighters, who when their people were oppressed on every side, their land was being stolen, their resources, gold, oil, diamonds, minerals, and now cobalt. They fought for liberation. To Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, and Stephen Biko, we say inside. To Nelson and Winnie Mandela, we say inside. We say inside to the nations of African people from which we come, but due to the transatlantic slave trade, our last names were taken from us and we were given the names of owners. And so we don't know whether we're Yoruba or Hausa, Fulani or Kushite, Kimite or Watusi or Zulu nations of people. So for all the African nations of people, we say Assam. To those who made it through the horror of the transatlantic slave trade, they walked 1 mile from a place called Ouida to the door of no return, who went on a ship, many of whom died or threw themselves over the Atlantic Ocean. And then they began to create nets so that if someone jumped overboard, they would be caught. To those who made it to the Americas, to the Caribbean islands, and who were sold in auction in Charleston, South Carolina, who built this nation with their culinary skills, their agriculture of rice, corn, tobacco, cotton, sugarcane, and gave this nation free slave labor for almost 400 years. There is no stock market to go up or down, to rise or fall, without the hundreds of years of free slave labor in agriculture, in architecture, in design, in building. To those ancestors, we say inside. We say inside to our freedom fighters, to Malcolm, to Martin, to Medgar Evers, who lost their lives fighting for the right to vote. To them we say inside. To our artists who made life beautiful, Catherine Dunham, Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston, Audre Lorde, Duke Ellington, and Sarah Vaughan. To Nina Simone, Alvin Ailey, To them we say inside. We say inside to your grandmother and your great-grandmother and your great-great-grandmother who looked at nothing and made something, who took scraps of cloth and sewed them together to make a quilt so we could be warm, who took pig guts out the garbage, cleaned them up, put hot sauce on them and made them taste good and served them during the holidays. To those ancestors we say inside. To our uncles and our grandfathers and our great-grandfathers who were living in Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Florida, Alabama, and they heard that Detroit, Michigan was hiring for $5 a day at Ford Motor Company, and they caught a train to Detroit. They got a job and they lived in Black Bottom. They had their sister come and their sister married somebody from Chrysler. They had their other sister come and she went to nursing school. To all of those ancestors who moved to Detroit one by one, transforming this city to a great city built by a beautiful river, to them we say inside. We say inside to you, for you are in the right place and this is the right time and you are great just the way you are. To you we say inside. And to the children yet to be born, to the children that will be born to this community of young people, may we, the adults, may you work in partnership with us to make our world, our community, our home safer, safe from violence, violence of words and fists, safe that we can build our own economy, that we can cultivate our own land, that we can celebrate our own culture. To the children that have not been born, but we pledge to work together to make this a better world for them. To them we say inside. And I stretch my arm out as a symbolic link that binds us together as one family. And as I drink from the Kikombe Chop Moja, I say what's good enough for me is good enough for the community. And the secret of life, my brothers and my sisters, is to have no fear. Inside?